Hello and welcome to another edition of Music Matters. I'm MonkeyBoy.
And I'm Ziggy.
And today we are going to be talking about unique artists.
Yes.
Unique.
So if you don't know what that means, keep listening.
Yes.
Yeah, and we'll get to it.
We'll get to it.
So this is the second to last episode of Season 1 of the Music Matters podcast.
It is. We only got one more left.
One more left, and it's going to be a great way to end the first season, although we could have probably started the whole podcast with this gentleman.
Yeah.
The great Stevie Wonder.
Love me some Stevie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll be talking about his career next episode.
Now, I don't want to put you on the spot, but let's tell everyone everything we're going to talk about in 2026.
Oh my God. That you just really put me on the spot there.
I really did.
I don't know. I don't know all of them.
You're not keeping a notebook like
no,
I am?
I did not. No.
I have the next 10 years planned out of the
10 years?
Matters podcast.
Wow.
Well, how many ideas did we talk about and didn't get to?
Oh, tons.
Yeah. So, some things we'll maybe talk about next year, but we don't make any guarantee because we're old and we might forget. But I know that you're very surprised that in Season 1 we haven't talked about drummers.
Yeah, that's true.
We're going to talk about bass players.
All right.
We'll talk some more about producers.
Sure.
We're going to spend a little bit more time in one of your favorite formats of country music. We're going to discuss, we're going to have Ashley and I know to discuss these great 90s ladies. But yeah, we'll get into country a little bit more. There's some 80s things that I have ideas for. I know,
all right.
I know all of your ideas are about the 80s, so
yeah, it's pretty much.
I think our jar's filled up there and we can cap it. But,
all right.
Yeah, some interesting things.
Yeah.
So
it'll be good.
Look forward to that.
Yeah, that starts up back in next in January.
January, and we will be on video.
Yeah, yeah. Look out.
Look out.
We may break some monitors.
We may. We are both, by the way, very self-conscious of our noses. So please focus
sexy.
On those.
Yes.
Focus on those. Subscribe because of the noses.
Yes, our noses are fun to watch.
Yes. Yeah. So something we haven't done in a long time, and we will make sure that this is in every episode because I think it's important. We love to talk about all music, but regardless of what you love and what decade it comes from, you should always know what's happening in music now in all formats.
Yeah.
So we'll tell you what some of the hottest songs in the country are on the charts.
All right, and we're going to start with the active rock charts at number 10. One of my favorite new bands, Mammoth. They are, of course, Eddie Van Halen's son, Wolfgang. It's basically just him on the record.
Yeah, he plays all the instruments.
He does all the instruments.
Produces it, mixes it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's pretty much just him, but they call him Mammoth. And the song is The Spell.
Yeah, and he is not trying to be his dad, by the way.
He is not. He is an amazing musician. He really is.
He's a great guitar player.
Yes.
Don't compare him to his dad. He's great in his own.
Yep. And I mean, you can add a great drummer, a bassist. He's great at pretty much the whole package. So check him out. Number 9, great band. I know you love them. Dayseeker. Pale Moonlight at
Pale
number 9.
Moonlight. Great album.
I love the album. That song though is killer.
Mm-hmm.
Number 8 is 3 Days Grace with Kill Me Fast. Great tune from them. I really like the dynamic of the two singers. I think they work well together. Number 7, The Funeral Portrait are back with a song called Dark Thoughts. I really like this band as well. If you're not familiar with The Funeral Portrait, they are on to bigger and better things.
Yeah.
Number 6, Legends, Aerosmith, along with Youngblood, song My Only Angel. Their new album comes out this coming week, the 22nd, I want to say, something like that. Whatever Friday is, it drops this coming Friday. Sleep Token at number 5 with Caramel. Number 4, 9 Inch Nails, As Alive As You Need Me to Be. Number 3 is Pretty Reckless, For I Am Death. Number 2 is the Foo Fighters, Asking for a Friend, which, no surprise there. Number 1, Five Finger Death Punch, The End with Baby Metal. That's interesting. I didn't think Baby Metal would ever hit number 1, but they have with Five Finger Death Punch. So that's cool.
I'm going to say this. I think Baby Metal will go down as legends.
They are unique.
They
are unique.
Yeah, we can bring them up.
Yeah.
When we get deeper. You brought up Sleep Token. You know, we're in the final couple episodes here, and there's just so much to talk about. But I am going to declare Sleep Token the biggest band of the year.
I think you could make a case for that, yeah. They've had a stellar year. The other one I would say that had just as big a year would be Youngblood. He's had, ever since the Ozzy Osbourne tribute show, he has blown up. Had his, release of Changes, his cover of that, just did huge. Then he had Aerosmith's now with My Only Angel. And then the whole new album with Aerosmith, that's going to be insane. The sad thing to report, though, is because of how big he's gotten, it's kind of caused his health to decline a little bit.
Yeah, he has mental health stuff go on, and he's off the road till the end of the year.
To the end of the year. He took doctor's orders to take a break, relax. So sending best wishes to Youngblood, because I got to say he's one of my favorite new artists, as well as Funeral Portrait and Sleep Token.
Sleep Token, yeah.
All of them are great.
Well, over on the country chart, Blake Shelton is at number 10 with Stay Country or Die Tryin'. 6 months later by Megan Moroney is at number 9. 321 by Tucker Wetmore is 8th. At 7th, What Kind of Man by Parker McCullum. You'll notice we're not really having any discussion in between these numbers because Andy knows nothing about country music. At number 6, Don't Mind If I Do by Riley Green. Parmalee, Cowgirl at number 5.
I've heard of them.
Ooh, very good.
Yeah, thank you.
Back in the Saddle by Luke Combs is at number 4. No, Andy. Lainey Wilson. Somewhere Over Laredo.
Did you know I was going to ask, is that Aerosmith's cover of Aerosmith's Back in the Saddle?
Lainey Wilson, Somewhere Over Laredo. A really good song, number 3. I love her. Everything about her. Number 2, Darlin' by Chase Matthews. I know that's number 1 on some other charts. Heavens to Betsy by Jackson Dean at number 1.
All right.
Yeah.
And one of those is AI, right?
Nope.
No?
There was an AI song that was number 1 last week. I don't remember the name of the song of the guy because...
so those guys aren't it. Okay.
So I don't know what happened. I believe that was a number 1. According to Billboard.com, I don't see it this week on the chart. It is possible that it was pulled down. It's still available, of course, on all streaming sites, but I think they pulled it down off this chart because that isn't right.
I agree.
And that's all I got to say about that.
I agree.
So, what else you got on the charts?
We're going to go with the alternative charts this time. At number 10, Rome with Slow and Easy featuring Dirty Heads. Number 9 is Yellow Card and Better Days. It's nice to see they're back.
Mm-hmm.
Number 8 is The Paradox and Get the Message. Number 7, Baloo Brigada with Backseat. I am not familiar with that song. Foo Fighters, Asking for a Friend at number 6. Number 5 is Matt and Mason, Downstairs. Number 4 is Sublime with Ensenada, which is a great new tune from Sublime. If you haven't heard it, it sounds exactly like the old Sublime. I mean, his son sounds exactly like him.
Yeah.
The Weather at number 3 with All Time Low. Number 2 is Pierce the Veil with So Far, So Fake. And your number 1 song on the alternative charts is 21 Pilots, City Walls.
All right. Over on the top 40 charts, Olivia Dean, Man I Need. That's at number 10. She was on Saturday Night Live last night.
That's who it was.
Yeah. Doja Cat, Jealous Type, up a spot to number 9. Miles Smith, Nice to Meet You, at number 8. Benson Boone, Mystical, Magical, that's down a spot. Sabrina Carpenter with Tears, at number 6. Leon Thomas, a great song, great new artist, one of my new favorites, Leon Thomas with Mud, at number 5. Taylor Swift, ooh, yes, The Fate of Ophelia. You know that one?
No.
Alex Warren, Ordinary, down a spot to number 3. He's coming around here pretty soon. Justin Bieber, Daisies, down a spot to number 2. Returning to number 1, Golden by Huntrix.
By who?
By Huntrix.
Huntrix?
Yeah, Golden from the K-pop Demon Hunters.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah.
It's been around forever, so nothing much changes there.
Yeah, they stay the same for quite a bit of the time.
Yeah.
Well, should we talk about some unique bands?
Well, yeah, the disclaimer is music is subjective.
Very, very.
So what we find unique,
you may not.
You may not. And there are, that's what I like about music, is uniqueness. Because, in pop music, it's dramatic, it's formula. But we've always had someone that's kind of popped out of that.
Oh, yeah.
Or they have said to their record company, I'm not going to make the kind of music you want. This is who I am.
Yep.
Or there's record labels saying, well, you think you're this artist? We have an idea, try this, because we believe that's truly you. And so they stand out.
Yep.
But, these are just some people that we thought of, and
yeah, I think so. A lot of these bands, the basis for unique is that they really don't have anybody else that sounds like them.
Yeah.
There's nobody that, I mean, sure, there are some that have kind of like rip-offs or, but when you get down to it, there's really nobody that sounds like them.
Really, truly.
Yeah.
Because, you had, well, we'll go back to the 80s hair band days, and I mean, there wasn't really anything truly unique. I mean,
no,
it became
they were all very similar.
It was like they were being pumped out like a machine. They all, it's like, okay, here's 5 guys with blonde hair, here's 5 guys with brunette hair. Okay, the next production line is
can they play instruments?
We're
yes,
gonna mix
okay.
you up, and here comes the guys with the black hair, and
no, they can't. Give them a bass.
The big producer at the time was Beau Hill.
Yeah.
And it just became, but like Halloween was a very unique band.
Halloween was a unique band, and still is.
Yeah, that their original lead singer sung at a pitch that I loved and hated.
Yeah. It's very different.
Yeah.
Not to say that they're, take away the vocals, it sounded a lot like, every other metal band.
Every other band.
But his vocals made that unique.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah. We can take some other guys, that came out of that, like Rob Halford.
Yeah, Rob Halford. There's nobody else that sounds like Rob.
Ronnie James Dio.
Yeah.
Ozzy.
To a point, yeah, there's nobody that sounds like Oz.
Yeah. And that's just talking about, the vocal side of
right.
things.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, Primus.
Let's get into Primus. I first found Primus, I want to say it was like 1992, It was the Cheese album, Sailing the Seas of Cheese or something like that. And there was this guy I worked with at Clancy's restaurant in Lansing. And he was just into it. Like, he loved it. It made no sense to me whatsoever at the time. I was like, what is this? Like, I could not figure it out. I had no clue what if it was even music, right? Because it was just so weird compared to what I normally listened to at the time, which was hair, like Bon Jovi and, you know, stuff like that. So going from that to that.
Well, you know, they had that mixed in. When MTV started, they were very focused on kind of the pop thing, but you know, the hair metal took off, and so you saw that, and then kind of this alternative thing. Primus came in with that.
Yeah.
I first got turned on to really anything that I've gotten turned on to as far as musicians. I've always been really interested since my teen years in just kind of diving in, and so me and my friends, we always kept a list of our favorite drummers, guitar players, bass players, you know, singers, whatever. And it was always fun to compare, but I always just took deep dives on them. And so, you know, this is at a time, you know, I'm a big fan of Rush. And so, hello, you know, great bass player. And then, you know, and through that search, like Billy Sheehan and all of Jack Bruce and all of them, I came across Les Claypool and checked out Primus, and I was aware of them. You know, I had friends that were listening to Primus, but I was like you. I was like, you know, what is this? I'm really not into it. But then, you know, later I was looking at drummers, and Tim Alexander came on, and he's their drummer, and how unique he is. And
once you figure it out, like they're a band you need to figure out. Like they're just something different about them. And once you figure it out and you get into it, oh man, they are a sonic force. Like I remember the time when I figured it out. I saw them live at Ozfest, and it was. I can't remember the name of that song.
I can't either.
But it's that one.
Yeah.
And the insane way the crowd went, and just watching them play, and they just...
superb musicians.
Yes, absolutely amazing musicians. And watching him play that bass, nobody plays bass like Les Claypool.
Yeah, and they're very, they've always been very cemented in what they do.
Yes.
I don't think they've really deviated much from that.
No.
I don't think they know how to, and I don't know why they need to.
They don't. They are, they are Primus, and that is who they are. That is, there's nobody else that's going to sound like them. There's nobody else that can compare to them, because they created their own thing.
Yeah.
And you got to love that. I've seen them like 3 times, and every time, amazing.
Well, Les Claypool is on a long list of bass players.
Oh, yeah.
I consider probably the greatest bass player ever to be now I'm not remembering, Jacko. But, you know, you got others, you got the other slappers doing bass, but it's when the other 2 guys join that makes it unique.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of drummers like Tim Alexander and a lot of guitar players, but it's just the dynamic that made them sound different. Frank Zappa.
Frank Zappa is one of those unique characters that, they're much like Primus. You're like, what the hell is this when you first hear it? Like, I can't even put this into a category.
Yeah, Frank Zappa I really liked Frank Zappa.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't like him because of his politics or whatever, but I I had no interest there. And, you know, my brother Tim would have been the first person to turn me on to Frank Zappa, and zero appreciation then. It sounded like throwing shoes in the dryer.
Right.
With your clothes.
Yeah.
And standing next to it playing violin, and
it's just strange.
You know, someone slapping a watermelon with a belt. He did that to get sounds in his records.
Yep.
He used some of the oddest things to get some of the oddest sounds. He was a genius.
Yeah.
Now, it might sound like noise to you, but it's genius music. It is not for anyone.
No,
But
it's not for
I really appreciate it, the effort he put in. He worked with a long list of superb musicians. If they weren't superb back then, they certainly did after they worked with him. Steve Vai was one of them. Terry Bozzio was one of them. Just masterpieces.
Yeah.
Of orchestrated. I mean, he had a record studio full of like 50 people playing on one song.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Sounds kind of like Brian Wilson when he was trying to, find every sound that he could.
Well, the Beach Boys, before it being beach music, the Beach Boys are not the originators of surf music.
No.
But the way that Brian Wilson wrote and arranged those songs, the sounds that he tried to get, he's another one like Zappa that, hey, if we can't make it from this, this is the sound I want, this is the sound I need, and they found a way to get that sound into the song. But
right.
He had a beautiful way of arranging, and I think they're unique for that. I mean, they were also working with Jan and Dean at the time, and giving some songs to them. And yeah, surf music became cookie cutter.
Yeah.
But people talk about the Beach Boys because they appreciate the effort that went into those records.
Right.
Again, it became cookie cutter. They just lined up the good looking kids they found on the ocean front that could sing, and hey, you want to do surf music? Okay.
Right.
And that's what it was. But there was no effort put into the music.
No.
But the Beach Boys took periods to make these records.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, there was definite work involved on their end.
So I'm going to say System of a Down.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's nobody that sounds like System of a Down.
I'm not a fan.
I like some of their stuff. Some of their stuff is a little weird, and some of it, but a lot of it is great. I dig System.
Again, I can appreciate what they're doing.
Right.
I do appreciate the uniqueness.
Yeah.
It's they're just not my thing.
I get it. Yeah.
But yeah, unique sound.
Yeah. Yeah. I love me some Toxicity.
Yeah.
That whole album was phenomenal, in my view. I would say Tool definitely goes into that list.
Yeah, Tool is unique just because of, and we'll find agreement, you go online and there's all kinds of musicians talking about the time signatures of Tool.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And the ambiance and melody and just the way that the musicians play, they're all unique. Obviously, Danny Carey is one of the best drummers of all time.
For sure.
Has his own style, very very unique in what he plays. Adam Jones, Man, there are some good riffs on those Tool records.
So good.
Good riffs, good solos. Justin Chancellor, his bass playing is, right up there at Geddy Lee, Jack
For
Bruce.
sure.
I mean, and then you have this odd guy named Maynard James Keenan.
He is a character, that's for sure. And his voice is very different than anybody else's.
His voice is very different, and with Tool, if you've ever wondered why he stands on the side of the stage, it's because in Tool the music is the star.
Yeah.
And so we've seen Tool. He stands with very little light on him.
Yep. Usually in the background.
Usually in the background, he's got a perfect circle where I believe he's front and center.
Yeah.
And
a little more. Yeah.
Yeah, a little more, and then he's got what's the other band? Pucifer, and that's just a goofy thing.
That's another unique band.
That is another unique band. That's just him kind of being goofy and whatever. But yeah, I mean everything about Tool is unique. It's a lot of people like the lyrics of Tool songs.
Oh, for sure.
Do you know any lyrics? Because I sometimes I can't. My musical brain really struggles to pull Maynard James Keenan out of the music.
Oh, I could pull some of them.
Yeah.
I know the pieces fit.
Well, okay, yeah, but
yeah.
I think they're just truly unique. A lot of people have. A perfect circle. They were
like the pop version of Tool,
Yeah, it's still about, their songs are still about odd things like Tool's are and Maynard's.
They just have a more mainstream sound.
More mainstream. I think Tool is, more alternative.
Yeah. I think
so,
too.
Yeah. What else you got?
I'd have to say Steely Dan goes on that list.
Oh, yeah, Steely Dan.
Nobody sounds like Steely Dan.
Well, Steely Dan was doing their thing at a time where
nobody else was doing that.
I don't think anyone saw them coming.
No.
I mean, we're talking the late 60s and through the 70s, where it's a very political time. There's a lot of folksy stuff out there. There's a lot of pop that is political. AC is really hot at the time. Your Ambrosias, and Helen Reddy, and whatever, and
right,
and then you have Steely Dan coming with this freight train of jazz.
Yes, it's very jazzy
and kind of
a fusion of
R&B
and
yeah. I mean, it was again. Donald Fagen and Walter Becker were Steely Dan.
Yep.
And they could write and arrange. They could both play their instruments, but they brought in some of the best musicians.
Absolutely.
To ever play their instruments. They worked with legendary drummers and guitar players and toured with them, and the songs are just,
they're great.
Yeah. Asia Peg.
Yeah. FM. Love that tune. Or
Plugging the Boy Quarter.
My Old School.
Yeah.
Many.
Yeah, and there's
in the Years.
I just don't think there's been anyone else like Steely Dan.
I don't think so either. I think they are just one of those bands that just came at the right time. They sounded like nobody else.
Yeah, I think they stuck out at the time.
Yeah, they still do.
Well, yeah.
They still sound completely different than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if Walter Becker has passed.
Right.
He's been gone for a while, but
Few
Donald
years.
Fagen is still out there.
Still every
Steely
once
Dan.
in a while we'll do. Although I think the last tour they might have said that was their last, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, you never know with
Right.
him, but he had superb musicians out on the road.
Always. He would always play with the best.
And when you went to see Steely Dan live, it sounded like the record.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's the cool thing about them as well. So many good songs too with Steely Dan. Let's see some of the other bands I was thinking of, like there's I think the Cars are original in sounding. They were just different. Rick Ocasek, nobody sounded like Rick Ocasek.
I would agree with you.
It was poppy, but yet also rock. Yeah, they just kind of found that groove where they were pop, and they could also be in the rock charts. They were good.
Yeah, I mean, there's always been Cars type of bands, but not like,
Right.
that came from a period of garages.
Yeah.
And all music then came out of a garage or a basement.
They all looked like nerds too.
And yes, and they all
they
look
were
like nerds.
Very nerdy band.
A lot of these bands, got lucky to get record contracts. They probably hadn't been playing that long, but to me, I was really got into the Cars. I still love listening to them. Yeah, there's something unique to me about them. Anyway.
For sure.
Yeah.
At least for me. You want to talk about other 80s unique bands? The Cure, I think, definitely were different. They had a dark side of pop, I guess you'd say. Their lyrics were always, kind of on the darker side.
The Cure, emo.
They were very emo.
I don't know that. Was there anyone emo before The Cure?
I'm sure there was, but I can't think of who it is. Maybe Kraftwerk. But they were also very different, and nobody sounded like them either. And still nobody sounds like them.
I mean, because I know a lot of Cure fans, and many of them were dark and brooding,
sure,
like the Cure was. But I'm just thinking right now that I don't think they're the first emo band, but they just kind of stick out to me as when you get into the 90s, then
that's when emo really starts.
Yeah, we have a lot of that, and it was certainly spearheaded by the Cure. That
For sure.
Hey, you don't have to go on the radio with this puppy, funny,
right?
Bop music for the kids. Hey, I got something I want to talk about. I have something I want to get out, and their songs had meaning to them and to us.
Right.
Yeah.
I just thought of a band. I don't think anybody sounds like them. And they also were kind of like the Cure. They had lyrics that were more politically driven or not. They were more political band, especially in the early part. I'm talking about U2. U2, early days, very political. But then their stage show came around, and they put on these huge stadium shows. And they went more pop too, especially like on the Joshua Tree album.
Yeah, I don't know that I can go real deep in agreement about them being unique, but the early days,
Yeah, the early days. They became a kind of a parody of themselves almost.
Yeah, we're coming at a period of the 70s, that was that was political, still political at the time. You know, you get out of
especially the
Vietnam
Irish
War,
side of things.
but then you get into kind of this Nixon period and Watergate time and whatever, and there's the peace and the love, but then there's the there isn't peace and love, and now you're kind of going into the 80s. But U2 said, oh hell no, we still got something to say.
Yeah. And
they were carrying the flag for their, waving the flag for their country.
Yep.
And I think them then getting into the States, that's what drew people to them.
Yeah, for sure.
But I am not really a U2 fan at all.
I'll tell you this, I was not a U2 fan until I saw them live. When I saw them live, completely changed my whole outlook and experience with that band. Mm-hmm. Now there were songs that I liked by U2 that I thought were good songs, like Beautiful Day. I think that's a killer track. I think that some of their earlier stuff, like what's that one I wanted to see? Bullet the Blue Sky. Mm-hmm. Some of the other stuff, really, really great songs. Then I think they had a period where they just kind of went weird. And then they kind of came back around to their rock side of things in the early 2000s. But yeah, there's a lot to not like and like about U2.
We always say on our podcast here, and it really truly is how both of us feel. We have a deep love for music.
Yeah.
And just take 5 minutes, put your hands over your ears, close your eyes, and just think, what if there wasn't music?
Oh, God.
Oh, Lord. Suck. Oh.
It would suck.
It would be horrible. And so I find appreciation in all music. When I say it's not my thing, it's not that I might not like a song or two. Maybe I like 10 of their 20 songs.
Right.
But you won't find me sitting around at night looking up U2 on YouTube. Now,
right.
Their live show, I mean, they've been on some big festivals that have been televised. That live show is amazing.
It's amazing. It really is.
Yeah.
And when I saw them, it was in Minneapolis, 2012-ish, somewhere in there. It poured. Downpour. I'm telling you, you were sopping wet. Like, sopping wet. And it was an outdoor stadium show. They didn't have much protection from the storm at all. They were getting soaked, but it just brought out the best of them. They came out and they just killed it. Every song was a celebration. Every song people went just absolutely insane for. And it didn't matter what the weather was. The weather made it better, I think. And usually I hate the rain, but I'll tell you what, it was like a party in the rain. It was, I think it made Bono's singing even better. Like he must have went to a different level. Like he just got, I don't know, but it was unbelievable. And their stage show, I mean, aside from their playing, which was phenomenal, their thing that they had at that time was called the Claw. And it was just humongous. Like, it took up half the football field. And it was just lights, and it was like it was an alien spaceship, and it was something to see. Mm-hmm. If you can go back and watch that on YouTube, I know there are videos of it. Mm-hmm. I've seen them. Yeah. Go check that out. It was an amazing performance, an amazing show, and I'm so glad I was able to be there.
Yeah. So, just not my thing, but there are songs I like.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Let's see. Some of the other... Kate Bush.
Yeah.
Very original.
Very original.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nobody that sounds like Kate Bush out there at all.
What about, you're bringing up, and she's a tough one, Bonnie Tyler.
Bonnie Tyler, yeah.
We're dating ourselves now, but Bonnie Tyler had that just raspy
voice. Oh,
and
I loved it.
And she's a love-hate artist, I think, for a lot of people.
I loved her voice. I did.
I did too. You know, she had a few hits, but the biggest, I think, I don't know, it's just been so overplayed over the years that, you know...
I Need a Hero?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that did get overplayed. I could have been one of those people.
But yeah, I in my youth, I can remember her standing out. I was like, "Ooh, what's this?"
Yeah, she was very different.
Yeah.
Cyndi Lauper, very different.
Very different.
Very different.
You know, we're uniqueness.
She didn't sound like any other artist. Like, her songs were just way different. Like, it was pop. You could tell it was pop.
Yeah.
But it was a different kind of pop.
You know, and we were talking in pre-production about Tony Basil.
Yeah, Tony Basil. Yeah, Mickey. That was a completely different thing, too.
Yeah. You know, just unique vocally.
I thought of another 80s unique one. Falco.
Oh, Falco was very...
Do you remember Falco?
Yeah,
Rock
Falco.
Me Amadeus?
Oh, yeah.
I loved me that song. And he had Calling Vienna was another one. That was another one of his hits. He had a couple of decent songs. But he was really different.
Yeah.
Definitely European. That kind of made its way onto the pop charts. Kind of like Nina.
Ooh, Nina, 99
Luftballons.
Luftballons. Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah.
Hey, our brains are really working
We're starting
today.
to function today now.
Oh, wow.
We're
it's
getting
great.
going.
Oh, you know, it's a kind of a cloudy and dark day today. But
It
wow,
is.
I mean, I can see the smoke coming from both of our ears.
And, you know, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this guy. And I know you're going to laugh because you won $20. Weird Al.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody else like Weird Al. And Weird Al came around and he's like, I want to be something completely different. I want to write somebody else's songs, but turn them into my songs. And he did. And some of them are just the best, funniest songs ever. Like, I'm Fat. Do you remember the video for that? That was so great. And, I mean, who thinks of that stuff? Who thinks of, what was the Queen one? Another one rides the bus. You know, another one rides the bus. And then he's got, you know, his originals like One More Minute, which is, oh my God, one of the funniest songs I think I've ever heard. So yeah, Weird Al. He's the only really comedian / musician that made his own genre, and there's nobody else gonna be like him ever, I don't think.
Brian Eno.
So, I know the name, but I cannot tell you how I know the name.
There's a lot of music out there that he's touched. Brian Eno came from Roxy Music.
Roxy Music, that's it. Okay.
Big time record producer. He's a musician and a songwriter. He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. And he's pretty much in there for pioneering contributions to electronica and that ambient stuff. Major production and writing in rock and pop music. Really not about, he is a musician, but he's more into sitting with someone and saying, here's what we got, but we got too much. Let's minimize this. He's a minimalist. In music, make the most out of what do you got?
Right.
And so you can, in your free time, for those that follow us, look up Brian Eno and what he's touched. But yeah, I mean, some of the strangest music out there is
Brian Eno.
Yeah.
We got to mention Devo.
Mm-hmm. Whip it good.
How did they come up with those costumes? Like, one day you're like, you know what? I think our band should wear these plastic red things on our head.
Yeah, but I remember that. I was turned on to Devo by MTV, and I just remember going, "What is this?"
Exactly. What the fuck is this?
Again, as we've discussed on the podcast before, some of the worst videos ever produced were on MTV. And
they're bad.
These, a lot of them were signed to major labels, but some to smaller, and they didn't have the budgeting for a video.
Right.
And, this is Devo. They probably made those outfits. They did. Themselves.
Yeah.
And, it was on a stage.
It was just the weirdest thing, but
probably in a garage or something.
Too.
And it took off, but Mark Mothersbaugh, we were talking about Brian Eno. Mark Mothersbaugh, as a producer and writer, has touched a lot of music too. He's a strange guy.
Yeah.
He's a strange guy, but Devo's out there. These guys are in their 60s now?
Yeah,
70s?
Yeah, they got to be in close to 70s if they're
they
not
were
in
on
their
a bunch
70s.
of festivals this past summer.
Yeah, they've been playing a lot this
they've been
last
playing a
couple of
lot.
years.
It's not all the original Devo.
I'm surprised they haven't released anything new. Maybe I should look. Maybe they haven't. I don't even know.
Yeah.
But yeah, Devo, there's nobody that sounds like Devo.
Okay, so we already talked about this band at the top of the episode. Sleep Token.
Yes. Sleep Token I think they're the first band to mold almost like 4 or 5 different genres into one. They take a little bit of hip hop, take a little bit of that, then I'm going to take a little bit of pop, and I'm going to take that, and then I'm going to take a little bit of metal, and I'm going to throw that in there, and then I'm going to take a little bit of rock, and I'm going to throw that in there, and then
an undertone of ambient, dark,
a little bit of ambient, dark stuff, and and then we'll just throw in some weird stuff for fun. That's Sleep Token.
Well, and you put it on. What's the song that it really gets different at the end? See, I can't. We're working off our brain today, so our research assistant has a day off. We don't have one. We can't afford one now. But anyway, they have these songs that you start it, and by the end, it's a completely different thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily go from quiet at the beginning to blasting metal at the end.
Right.
You might go a minute in, very ambient sound, then metal, then maybe something jazz, and at the end, you don't know
where they're going,
where the genre of music is going to come in the song.
Right.
Are they the greatest band of all time? Subjective, folks. All of that is subjective.
They are a very unique band who I think is bringing more attention to the metal and rock scene because they're taking from different genres and bringing people that are fans of that type of music, and they're like, oh wait, we can break it down and just take and turn it into a metal song for 2 minutes, and then go back to whatever that was that they were doing before. They are unique. Plus their stage show, from what I've seen, is something completely different than anything else anybody else is doing. Not that it hasn't been done before with wearing masks and things like that.
Yeah.
But it's just different.
The uniqueness comes in the arrangement of the song for me.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't hear that type of guitar in a lot of our hard rock or metal or metalcore. And it's just the way that the songs are arranged. Okay, you got one more, and then we got to talk about something really important.
All right, so just one?
Yeah. There's many.
There's so many. Nirvana.
Okay, we'll talk about both of them. I'm gonna throw Guns N' Roses in there.
All right.
Okay, so you go first.
Nirvana. They were the punk equivalent of what's the band's name?
Well,
they were what punk / alternative became. Like, they created a whole different subset. They killed a whole genre of music.
Well, there was, I think, you had the Sex Pistols.
Yeah.
And the Sex Pistols had a lot of fire in them.
Yep.
A lot of angst.
Yep.
And I think, though Nirvana was not coming from what they were doing,
right,
I think that angst and that fire was there.
Very similar, yeah.
And you have pop music, your Mariah Careys and Whitney Houston's and Prince and George
And
Michael.
at that time, that was what was popular.
It was
very pop.
It was very cookie cutter and pop.
And if it wasn't pop, rock, it was hair.
It was your 80s hair metal.
It was either pop or 80s hair metal, and that was
so,
all there was.
Yeah, so you have pop on one side. Not everyone's into it. They find it boring. And then you had your hair metal. No, we're not ignoring country, but I'm just talking
right.
that those were the two biggest formats at that time.
Agreed.
And you had these
and they
kids,
would cross over each other too. Like
they would.
When you would listen to a pop station, you would hear, not only the pop, like like Whitney Houston and Huey Lewis and the News, but you'd also hear Motley Crue and Poison and Bon Jovi.
But there was a generation then that was angry.
Yes.
Depressed.
Yes.
Felt unattached or whatever.
Yep.
You're more not moodier people. I'm not talking like here down and depressed. I'm talking people that you might have been in that period but had fight and wanted something. And Nirvana came on with this, dude, and because we were there.
Oh yeah.
Kaboom!
Oh, it wasn't even.
It was like you hear them on the radio the first time, and for me anyway, I was like, oh, what the hell's this? It was like somebody lowering the bar on Dynamite.
Yeah.
And I mean, they had that much energy, and you watch the Smells Like Teen Spirit video, and we were all up kicking stuff. Hi, my name is Sean.
Things, right?
And Nirvana came on. I kicked garbage cans around in my parents' house. And so then let's jump to Guns N' Roses. For me, it was the same thing. Was there music like that out there? That was garage rock again. That came out of a garage. But there was just something different about the energy.
There's Axl
and
a lot.
And the angst. Yeah, this guy just...
A lot of it was Axl. His voice, still is very unique. When you could lump them into the hair metal scene a little bit, but they don't fit it either.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the songs, you can throw in Sweet Child of Mine and put it on a hair compilation and it won't sound out of place. But they were just...
They weren't doing the... I think that's what was unique about them, but also at the same time, LA Guns was out there.
Right.
Your
but it was that was an
Faster,
offshoot
Pussycat.
of Guns N' Roses.
Well, it
too.
was, but again, that was garage music. But there was just something at the time that made Guns N' Roses stand out. It wasn't the teased hair, bubblegum metal music with the hot girl in the video. It was angst.
It was the angst, and I mean some of the production as well elements. I mean, they actually did have somebody having sex on that record.
Yeah,
there's literally that when you hear the moaning, that is actual sex happening at that time.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah, did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they recorded it.
Well, I am going to bring up a gentleman that we need to talk about. One of the unique vocalists in the history of rock, Mr. David Coverdale.
Ooh.
I think David Coverdale will get away from the bands and we'll just talk about vocalists. David Coverdale this past week announced that he is done with music. He's retiring. Yep. He was the front man of Whitesnake.
Yep. Deep Purple.
He was in Deep Purple. He played with Jimmy Page.
He did. Had a great solo career as well. David Coverdale gave us generations of great singing, and he also gave us the video with Tawny Kitaen dancing on a car that was the most hottest thing ever.
Go back to the late 60s, early 70s. There was great vocalists at the time. Ian Gillan of Deep Purple. I mean, you had Robert Plant.
Yep.
Many. But David Coverdale sounded as unique as like Ronnie James Dio.
Yeah.
He just had this rhythm and blues thing, and when David opened his mouth, you felt he just had this presence. Larger than life presence.
For sure.
I really appreciated and can't thank him enough for all of the great music that he's put out. Again, he has played with a long list of superb and iconic musicians.
For sure.
And he's heard from all of those musicians this week thanking him for their careers, for his leadership. So it's a bummer deal, but
we still got the music.
And I thought he was a unique singer.
He was.
So I don't know, Andy. I suppose maybe we can do another episode of this next year.
Oh, we could keep going on and on and on. We didn't even mention like the Pixies or a bunch of other bands that are out there that are completely unique.
It's like we say at the end of every episode, we can go on and on and on.
Yeah, I could. I am got a useless amount of energy and knowledge up in here.
Yeah.
That,
like I always say, if I knew as much about music, about anything else, I could probably
be a genius. Yeah.
I could probably be working on your brain right now.
Right?
But I wouldn't hand me any tools now.
I wouldn't either.
No. You'd be going...
I already am.
Well, we're going to talk about Stevie Wonder next time.
Yeah.
Legend. A lot of people know a lot of things about him, but if you don't, that's why we're going to talk about him. Because he's someone that you should know about.
Oh, absolutely.
Stevie Wonder, the Beatles, Elvis.
Yeah.
Why we're on the topic.
Yeah.
It's our job as parents to teach our children about the music. Now, they're going to hate it.
Yeah, they are.
My kids, thankfully, have loved a lot of the music I've turned them on to. But teach your kids about music. Get them out of the bedroom and away from the screens.
Yes.
But what you have to do to get your kids to listen to your music is when they come out and they play you a song, just sit there and listen to it. If you don't like it, go, hey, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
It's a good way to start into communication of, music. Let them share something with first.
And if you turn your kids on to your music and you listen to theirs, then you'll know the difference between AI and real music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, wrap it up.
All right. Well, of course, you can find this podcast on a lot of different places. YouTube, make sure to give us a like, subscribe, share. You'll find us on Spotify. You'll find us on MonkeyBoy Radio. You'll find us on Amazon Music. So, yeah, go find us, stream us.
It's really important on YouTube. We're trying to get to 3 million subscribers.
Yes.
Yeah. I love Rick Beato. Do you ever watch his videos on YouTube?
I'm not familiar, no.
Okay. Well, I want you to check one out. He's great.
Rick Beato?
Rick Beato. He
Okay.
does he does stuff kind of what we do here.
Okay. I might know
wonderful.
who you're talking
But
about.
he's
I
just
don't
shy
know
of
the
3
name.
million, so I thought,
Wow.
hey, that's a good...
All right, so we'll go for that.
Yeah.
Eventually. We'll get there. Let's start with the 100 first.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, you can also check out monkeyboyradio.com. That's where you'll find me. I do the Real Rock Nights segment. I do Chartbound with Monkey Boy on Saturday nights and Sunday nights. I also do Dad Rock in the morning on Sundays, and then the Underground, 7 o'clock Sunday nights. You can find all of that at monkeyboyradio.com.
All right. I do nothing. I'm Ziggy. Thanks for joining us.
This has been the Music Matters Podcast. We'll talk to you next time.